That is exactly this molecule also gives us, and it's been giving for the last 25 years, the GLP-1 response, the glycemic variability, gut microbiota, and CV benefits. Let's quickly go through each of these evidence, because every time we talk, we need to have a science behind that. And this is what is the evidence when you compare with the allogliptin, which is DPP4, and combine acarbose. You can see after adding, the glucose levels were significantly improved. This is the CGM data which we're talking about. And similarly, the effect of acarbose on glycemic variability in patients with diabetes using premixed insulin compared to metformin, which is an open label randomized trial. So they added metformin in one arm and acarbose in one arm in the background of insulin, and look at the advantages when you're adding acarbose versus metformin in the background of insulin therapy. And all these are statistically significant numbers, and these coefficient of variation may all revolving around this gut microbiota. We know there is a homogeneous effect between your genetics, your environment, microbiota, and diet. Of course, this is a separate topic by itself, and we will not get into that. But just to show you, there is a healthy bacteria, there is a dysbiotic gut bacteria. There are a lot of names for that, and you can see the symbiosis and dysbiosis. And these bacteria eventually results in the metabolic syndrome like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, inflammatory bowel disease, all that. This is called dysbiosis. But when you give acarbose, look at the improvement in the good bacteria. Again, proven studies. These are all science that we are talking about. Higher abundance of 5 genera of this bacteria seen, lactobacillus and dialystin. Dialystin is one of the things which is contemplated now, and there is a lot of research going on for the causative or etiopathogenesis of diabetes with respect to the gut microbiota and the dialystin bacteria per se. So there is a 40% increase in this good bacteria whenever you take, and this is evidence which talks about the habitual dietary intake which can affect the altered pattern of gut microbiota by acarbose in type 2 diabetics. So again, the good bacteria and the bad bacteria they have measured in the feces, and they have shown that the lactobacillus is one of the good bacteria which we know, and that is increased by 40%. So cardiovascular renal benefits. Again, the pleiotropic benefits. Let's quickly look at, these are the various mechanisms. For want of time, I will not get into this, but acarbose definitely reduces the CV risk by targeting these basic pathophysiology, which is the inflammatory. It acts as an anti-inflammatory, and this is the evidence which again talks about in IGT patients. This is called as A study. And this is one of the landmark studies called Myria study, where acarbose reduces the risk of MI in diabetic patients. A meta-analysis of 7 long-term studies which showed that there is a significant reduction in the, this is about intervention of acarbose which can prevent the CV complications in diabetes. And real world data 2018, significant lower risk of acarbose metformin for ischemic stroke, atherosclerosis, hypoglycemic events compared with the sulfonylurea metformin. About 14,000 patients, you can see the relative risk reduction, 33%, 31%, 77%, respectively for hospitalization to ischemic stroke and atherosclerotic events and hypoglycemia. I think the last column is very important. When you compare with the sulfonylurea, there is 77% relative risk reduction, that means about 33% hazard ratio risk reduction will be there. And this study presents robust real-world evidence about acarbose as a second-line OHA for reduction of atherosclerotic cardiovascular events, especially in the Indian subcontext we should look at. 2021 Beijing Community Diabetes Study, as I said, diabetes managed in China by acarbose as a first-line therapy. That's important to know. And this is endpoint driven. Acarbose used at a lower incidence of MI and all-cause death. And of course, no presentation today ends without COVID-19. Look at this from the epicenter of okay, okay, the minister has come, so he's not hypoglycemic. If he's hypoglycemic, you give dawah. As a minister. Oh, then great, sir. Then hypoglycemic, so we can enjoy the prandial status of all of us. Okay, so no study, no presentation ends without COVID-19. This data pulled out from the EMR, electronic medical records from Wuhan, which clearly shows people who are on metformin and metformin acarbose or acarbose alone had a lesser mortality. And that's something very important to know. And of course, AGIs have been prescribed from all the guidelines, whether it's ADA, Indian, Japanese, Korea, China, and Taiwan. This is
Good afternoon, sir. We welcome our Home Minister, Mr. Mahmood Ali Garu.
So we welcome our Honorable Home Minister of Telangana, Shri Mahmood Ali Garu. Now we have the most important part of this session. First of all, we will like to call Dr. J.V. Farishta, Dr. J.V. Farishta, Dr. Shaista, Dr. V. Srinivas, Dr. V. Srinivas, for facilitating Home Minister.
टेंशन नहीं है लेगा कि वहाँ पे खड़ा करता हूँ
Dr. Minaj, Dr. Lingam Gaur, can you please join us on the stage?
इसके अंदर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट पर्सन कौन है जो इसकी स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं आप दोनों हैं
हमारे AGI उसका फ्यूचर तेलंगाना के चेयरमैन
Everyone, can you please settle down? We are having the award ceremony. Please settle down. Now we move to the most important part of this session, awards ceremony. We are having 4 awards. The first one is Excellent Teacher, Lifetime Achievement, Clinical Excellence and Training and Placement. The first award is to Dr. Pri Raghuramalu sir. Sir, can you please join us on the stage?
Dr. P. Raghuramalu has done his MBBS from Usmania Medical College from 1968 to 1974. He is then acquired his DCH in 1979. Later in 1991, he obtained MD in General Medicine from Usmania Medical College and Usmania General Hospital. He started his career in teaching and was appointed as an assistant professor of medicine at Usmania Medical College and Usmania General Hospital from 1992 to 1997. Later, he worked as an associate professor of medicine from Usmania Medical College and Usmania General Hospital from 1997 to 1999. He was promoted as professor of medicine from Usmania Medical College and Usmania General Hospital from 1999 to 2006. I request Dr. V.K. Bhargava to please come up on the dais. Dr. V.K. Bhargava has been awarded for lifetime achievement. V.K. Bhargava is a senior consultant physician, Apollo Hospital, Jubilee, Hyderabad. Honorable physician Awards and achievements: received gold medals in medicine, professional membership in Indian Medical Association, Cardiology Society of India. I request Dr. Vijay Kumar Chenamshetty to please come up on the dais. He is awarded in clinical excellence. Dr. Vijay Kumar Chenamshetty is Senior Interventional Pulmonologist and Sleep Disorder Specialist, Apollo Health City, Hyderabad. MBBS from Sri Venkateshwara Medical College, MD Pulmonary Medicine. Experience in acquiring advanced skills from his mentor, Dr. Sai Yendamuri, and previous hospital. Memberships in national and international pulmonology, critical care, and sleep medicine forums.
Now I would like to call Mr. C.S. Mujibuddin sir, CEO and founder of Clinosol. Been awarded for placement and training.
Mr. Mujibuddin is an M.Pharm Pharmacology and MSc Clinical Research holder. He has spent more than a decade and a half of his career across various domains of the clinical research in India's most prestigious pharma CRO and pharma IT organizations including BioReserve, Paraxel, Oracle, Accenture, and Quintiles. He has held various positions such as being a consultant from leading EDC tool Oracle Inform, Oracle Architect, and Safety Database Oracle August. He is currently enjoying his passion for large scale at his own organization.
I would, yeah, everyone please